Education is transformational. It's transformational because it brings us out of who we are into something else. It opens our minds from what they currently are to new ideas. It allows us knowledge so that we may further collaborate with people that maybe we didn't think we were going to be able to collaborate with, or offer new ideas that we didn't even know existed, explore those ideas more thoroughly. Education offers a multitude of opportunities. That is why continuous education is such an important part of being a transformational leader. I will tell you about a situation that I'm currently in where I have been able to learn from a transformational leader quite unexpectedly. So, about 6 months ago, I was invited to interview for a new position. I thought the interview went very well. I thought that I had crossed all my T's and dotted all of my I's, and I didn't get the job. I did not get the job. So I was pretty devastated. It was something I really wanted. I wanted to learn about that unit specifically. So I was very, very disappointed. The manager that did not choose to hire me asked my supervisor if she thought that I would be interested in some feedback. And so my supervisor, who knows that I do enjoy that kind of thing, that kind of coaching, said yes, she thought that I would. So the manager that did not hire me sat down with me, and all I heard were the negatives. All that I heard were the things I didn't do right, or the experience that I did not have that was really what she was looking for. At that time, I didn't hear her say that my writing samples were excellent and that my packet was good. As far as my resume and my cover letter and my education, I didn't hear her say those things until much after, actually. So for a couple of months, I was really devastated. My self-esteem hit an all-time low, to be honest. It was a really, really big hit for me. About 2 months ago, I was invited into a meeting with this manager and my supervisor because the manager wanted to offer me an opportunity to work out of my class, in her unit while someone is out on a medical leave. So I immediately accepted because I still wanted to learn what her unit does. I knew that was where I wanted to be. I wanted to learn the systems that they use, the computer systems and programs. I knew it was a great experience, although I still kind of had some negative feelings about not getting that job. I decided to take the higher road, absolutely, and grab these opportunities that are right in front of me. So I ended up starting the very next day. I got no training. The person that's in the job that I'm still currently in actually was put on bed rest that day. So I got to sit with her for about an hour. So the last 2 months of my life have consisted of quickly trying to learn statutes, trying to learn guidelines. I have had to learn 2 new computer systems. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. It's been incredible. It's been a lot of work. It's been, something that I wasn't anticipating at this point in my life, especially not after getting that job. But more importantly, I learned about leadership because this new manager that I have is a transformational leader. And one of probably the main reason that I would classify her as a transformational leader is because she is so supportive of continuous education, continuous individual improvement, training. If you want to learn something, I have found she is more than willing to not only let you do it, but help you do it. Example, one day I was in her office and she asked me, since you're here, what would you like to learn? Is there anything else that you'd like to spend your time doing? And I told her, yes, I want to learn about successor liability. It's something that confuses me and I'd like to understand it. So the very next day, she comes over and says, I set you up with this person who is pretty much an expert in that field or in successor liability. And if you want to sit with him for a couple hours tomorrow, we can make that happen. So I did, and I learned so much. It was incredible. I learned what I learned in that hour, I guess it was, but I also learned where he got that information. So he gave me all of these tips and all of these resources to go out then and learn more. It was absolutely wonderful. That's just one example. She does this quite often. So in thinking of Bernard Bass's 4 I's of transformational leadership, the 2 that stick out to me that I have learned about firsthand are intellectual stimulation and individual consideration. First, individual consideration, because this manager gets to know her employees. I'm a temporary employee still in her unit. The person that holds my position permanently is going to come back. But she has taken the time to get to know me. She has asked about my specific needs. She has asked what I would like to learn, what I like to do. She's gotten to understand my work ethic, my working style. I've noticed that she speaks a little bit differently to certain employees based on kind of how they speak to her. Not in a negative way, it's just if some employees are quiet, I notice that she kind of takes on a quieter tone. If some employees are more boisterous, she becomes more animated. It's not about being fake or being a different person in front of other people. It's about speaking to your audience. It's about relating to your employees, and it's quite effective. She has gained a lot of respect in a short period of time. This is a relatively new unit. As far as intellectual stimulation, she never backs down from or never puts a negative spin on any kind of mentoring or learning. She has encouraged me to ask people questions. She has given me ideas of who the right person may be to learn different things. She asks me questions like, can you think of a different way that we might be able to do this that's more effective? So she's challenging me to think outside of the box. That doesn't always happen, especially, I think in government, I work in government, that doesn't always happen because we do have to follow statutes. We have to follow laws. But there are ways to still follow those laws, get our work done, and think outside of the box so that our daily tasks can be completed more efficiently. She is very into making a task work for everybody because your job doesn't only affect you. The tasks that you do don't only affect you, they affect everyone else. So in that way, she has really stimulated me to think, not only how is this going to affect me, how is this going to affect the people that sit over there that then have to look at my work and review it or finish it possibly. That has been really, really important for me to see how she takes each person as an individual, understands that we're all going to have our own strengths, our own flaws, our own areas of improvement, and she really builds on it. She doesn't just let it set. She is encouraging us to constantly be better, no matter what it's about. So I think learning about transformational leadership firsthand has probably been the most effective thing for me, much more effective than reading it out of a textbook. But I'm also very fortunate that I had those 2 things happen at the same time, or else I may not have realized that she is a transformational leader. I may not have realized that I would like to model my leadership, my future leadership, on what she does. Education, continuous education, training, learning opportunities being a huge part of the kind of leader that I would like to be.